Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a little bit better today. Things are looking a little bit brighter for me, I must admit. It's not easy going with everything that I've got going on. I think soon, once I am ready, I'm going to be doing video with this. And at some point, you'll probably figure out why I haven't done video, the journey that I've been through, and how much I struggle just with daily life. But this here right now gives me a little bit of downtime, if you will. It gives me an opportunity to really sit back, relax, and get some content done. And what I've been really doing is pondering what's different now compared to the previous pumps that we've seen before this. And there's really only been 4 other times to take note of, and a trend line we once was forming for a little bit. It was similar to XRP. We dropped, we started forming that trend line again. So there have been previous attempts to kind of move up in a orderly fashion, if you will. But what I have been really thinking about is what our weaknesses have been over the course of the past 4 years versus what our weaknesses really are now. And what I'm really seeing is a pattern, if you will, that has played out previously. I explained this in my other videos that I've gone through, that we could see a huge amount of sell pressure, as we have seen many times before. And this is really one of those weaknesses that I've been pondering. I've been really walking down these different routes in my mind as to, is this really a weakness now, or is this more of a superpower? And with my thinking currently, I like the idea of what I'm going through. I like the idea of there being less sell pressure, less coins that are being made readily available. And there's one simple equation to absolutely everything when it comes down to a Cosmos-based chain. If it is to be productive, if it's to be prosperous, if it's to be profitable, the amount of coins that are available for delegates and validators are supposed to go down over time. And as the amount available goes down over time, price is meant to increase. And that in itself balances out absolutely everything. And now, as you've seen, our price has increased drastically. That is beginning to balance things out. It becomes a countermeasure, if you will. And what we're actually seeing is far less sell pressure readily available, meaning the coins that were being distributed previously compared to this part of where we're at now is completely different. They are far lower than what they were in these previous pumps that we have gone through. And that is amazing. And although, right, it sounds horrible that the reward pools are getting lower and lower and lower, well, if we can maintain this momentum, if we can continue to push price up, it counteracts absolutely everything. And then, yes, you would like to see as much of the Oracle pool bleed out as possible, because then that means that it is far less rewards available for delegates and validators across board to go and sell out on the ecosystem. And obviously, if price is increasing, well, these validators and delegates simply aren't going to be selling out, are they? So I stand by exactly the words that I've been humming over the past few weeks. Price increase is the only thing that is going to correct all of our issues so we can move forward in a productive manner and we don't see the collapse of the entire validating set. This is good news for everybody, but the momentum must continue. And I really think amid the buzz, everybody has forgotten that our current momentum is actually built off of a guy wearing a t-shirt during a Bitcoin conference, and that is only going to carry us so far. There has to be more news. There has to be more things happening. So let's go over it. Let's do some TNA. Let's visualize what I've just been speaking about. What you guys are looking at here is a visualization in chart form of the Oracle pool balance depleting over time. And yes, it's depleted significantly since this chain was first created. And if it wasn't for the crash, right, we wouldn't even have an Oracle rewards pool as bulky as we did to begin with. So keep that in mind. We'll also bring this up whilst we're looking at the charts and everything like that, so you guys can see that as well. Now let's go over, let's take a look at the all-important TNA side of this. And like I said, there's been 3, maybe 4 events previous to this that are noteworthy, if you will. And what I'm going to say is one extra that was noteworthy is just this area in here where we had this larger cup and handle play out. This is a really, really good pattern at the time, and sadly it didn't play out. We didn't get that bullish move upwards that you should really get from a handle. You need to understand that this area here was the Trump pump and then the Trump dump. It wasn't us, it was the overall market, if you will. And I do believe at some point, right, if we play our cards right, we'll start forming a trend line similar to that again. And this is what XRP did for a significant amount of time. And they always say, the wider the base, the higher the space. And that is true. It's a really golden thesis that I like to go by. Now, like I said, there's 3 other times of note where we have broken out in significance like this, and this now being the fourth one. And as you can see, each time getting further apart and then getting smaller and smaller. And this is because of just how the chain has been, the overall ecosystem, the way LUNC is treated really as a side asset. Not a lot of people really use it and harness it. And yeah, a lot of the sell pressure has always come from validators. And what people need to grasp, okay? If a validator is not building anything for the LUNC blockchain, right? They're not spending their funding back into the ecosystem, right? It's just going off, it's being sold for fiat. They're selling out on you, right? This is not what we want. This is where all the sell pressure has come from before. And the sell pressure was huge back here during this time. And going back and looking at the Oracle rewards pool and looking at how many rewards are actually being paid out here, you're looking at all nodes raking in almost, I think it's around $30,000 a month at this point. So yeah, the sell pressure was immense. And what you need to understand is a lot of these bigger pumps are on the back of, I think it was Cremation Coin, wasn't it? And then another one, I can't quite remember what was it, Lunat? Was it Lunat? I don't know. Some of those burn coins that kicked up. That's where these bigger pumps do come from. And again, you've got the sell pressure coming from validators and delegates alike. Because yes, delegates with high amounts of staked Luna Classic are going to be getting a lot in return. And the likelihood is, yeah, they're going to be selling out on you. Now, where we are sitting at this current point, as you can see, there's around 53 billion in the Oracle rewards pool. The rewards are far less. What this means is the pump could have already eaten all of the sell pressure. We might actually now be in a situation, right, where the validators are exhausted. The delegates are also exhausted. Everybody has now taken some gains, if you will, and we're stabilizing. And if this is the case, right, and you get a close around halfway on this current candle, it means the bulls and the bears are currently going to be fighting for up or down. And this all becomes about user retention, what comes next, what momentum we can provide, what burns we can put forward, all of these different things that we have available now. I'm not talking about some fancy repeg or something that's going to be coming in like 3, 4, 5, 6 years or a month or 3 weeks, or it needs to be something that we can act on now. And it needs to be something that is far greater than a guy wearing a t-shirt at a Bitcoin conference. I mean, at this point, I'm willing to drag my disabled backside up a mountain with a Terra Luna Classic flag and wave it in a video and then post it on my X at this point. If that's what it's going to take to get momentum, then hey, I will do it. I will take the pain, I will hit the pain meds up hard that day, and we will climb that mountain, you guys, and we will wave that flag if that is what it takes. But we've got so many more cards that we can play as a community. We're in an ideal position because, yes, it seems to me that the validators are exhausted. All nodes is only taking $3,000 a month now, okay, in total. So if the ranked first validator is taking in that much, think about the rest of us. We're currently scratching rice off of the floor like chickens at this point. It's not good, but the price rise. The price rise changes absolutely everything in the Terra Classic community. And I know, like, I've been humming and hawing and I'm not as positive as you probably want me to be during this time. I'm just cautious. I'm hesitant. I've seen what's happened many times before. But again, right, we could have a lot of new users coming in. What we need to understand is we don't really have a lot to offer in terms of things that are understandable. The technology is great. You can come, you can build, everybody knows that, but it only goes so far. There's a very small percentage of people that are going to come into crypto and develop. The other 99% are simply going to invest, and we need to figure out what they understand, and they understand burning. Our chain is basically birthed off of the concept of burning, and we've all forgotten that. But anyway, it's all about trump cards. Everybody's going to have a role to play. No one thing is going to pump this thing to the moon, and no one singular thing is going to fix it. I'm not saying one thing's great. I'm not saying one thing's really bad or whatever. What I'm saying is, as a collective, we can work to get this to go upwards if we can get momentum off a guy with a bloody t-shirt at a Bitcoin conference, and it wasn't even a Terra Classic shirt. which makes it even worse. I've seen people speaking about rebranding and stuff like that. I'm going to do a video. I'm also going to do a video on Agora as well, give you guys my perspective on that. All positive stuff apart from the rebranding. I personally think it's not a good idea, but we'll dive into that later. But for now, that's all I've got. Have a great Sunday. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And I will catch you guys in the next one. And don't think I won't climb that mountain. I will climb that mountain. I'm ordering a flag right now. I'm going to do it. Ciao for now.